And hello. Hi everybody, sorry that took a minute there. I was just figuring out where I wanted things to be. Hi, hey, how are you? Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is where you are. Hello, I'm Laura. If you're new here, this isn't a typical stream time. Usually we stream in the morning, but I've been feeling up to it, I guess. I've been feeling like I want to stream a little bit more, so I'm not going to be necessarily committing to a certain time of day right now, except for my Wednesday streams, but it's fun, so I thought I would. I also have a bunch of yarn that I need to prep for projects, so before I actually start crocheting I have to wind them into balls because a lot of my yarn is like this, all screwed up. Okay, so if you're new, hi, I'm Laura. Usually I make things on this channel, but I do live stream for fun because then we can hang out and chat and drink tea and talk about plants and animals and yarn, basically. Hey Sona, good afternoon, good evening. And AJ, hey, how's it going? So don't forget to like the video as you're coming in because you're already here, you might as well. And let's talk yarn and stuff. First things first though, as you can see in the title, I said let me give you an update on CJ, my Bengal. So CJ is our 15-year-old cat. He is, I'm gonna say like the roommate that doesn't pay rent crossed with the love of my life, you know? Like Alex and I love him just to bits, but he also has this like attitude that just makes him like a roommate. Like he's like, I don't know how to explain it in another way. He's got his own rules, he's got his own attitude. So yeah, we love this cat. And he's been sick. Hey Mimi. Mimi Magnolia, that's a cute name. So he's been sick. He's been having trouble, he's got cat herpes, which basically is like a runny nose, runny eyes, congestion. He's just like struggling. He's like an old struggling cat, which shouldn't be a big deal, but lately he's been having a hard time kicking. The virus flares up as like a cold for him, and lately he's been having a hard time kicking it. Like it's just he's staying sick longer. So we've been to the vet for it a few times before, but we went to a new vet this time who recommended a whole slew of tests. So today's vet bill was a little bit crazy, I gotta admit. Not crazy, I know it costs what it costs, but in comparison to what I've been paying, it was a lot. So I went to the vet today and we got chest x-rays, urine sample, blood sample. So he's doing a full geriatric blood test. That was like $200 just for the blood test, which I didn't realize they were gonna, like, I didn't know how many things they check for, but $200 for a blood test, whoa. Anyway, I'm in Canada, so I'm used to receiving my human healthcare for free. So maybe if you're in the States, that doesn't seem like very much, but when you're comparing it to like, I don't even pay for my medication. And the antibiotic they gave him is for human infants. Like it's a what is it called? Pediatric formula. So, whatever. But yeah, so we got antibiotics. She didn't want to do steroids because he was a little dehydrated, and apparently steroids will not be good for if you're dehydrated. So she didn't want to give him a steroid injection, which was fine. I just mentioned it to her that he got that at the last time we went to the vet, and she was like, he doesn't need it. He had no fluid in his lungs, which is amazing because when we went to the vet, I think it was September the last time we went. It was either the end of August or the beginning of September. Anyway, we went with the cat to the vet then, and at that point he had like fully fluid-filled lungs. Like he was having trouble breathing and he had a fever and he was just like, it was awful. This time, no fluid in his lungs, no fever. So he's just very thin, and the vet said he's got a body score of 3 and it's out of 9. I texted Alex, he's got a body score of 3 out of 10, and then when she called me I said, how much was the score again? And she was like 3 out of 9. So it's actually a scale from 1 to 9. Anyway, he's on the very low end. He's very thin. So he's got antibiotics for 2 weeks. He didn't have a fever, so that was good. She was gonna give him anti-nausea medication, but then they offered him some of this special diet for skinny, like sick animals. And she said he ate half a can of that food while he was in the vet visit. So she said she's not going to give him any anti-nausea because he's not feeling nauseous. So that's good to know, because I don't know what the symptoms are for, like, what I can see from the outside, what it looks like on a cat for them to be nauseous. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, several $100s later, the cat has had all of the things that he needed. And I'm getting info about his blood work on Friday. So we'll see if he's got any. She said his kidneys and his throat didn't show any abnormal swelling, which is great, because one of the things that she said they check for with old cats that aren't eating is kidneys, to make sure his kidney function is doing well. But she said usually she can kind of feel it even before checking, because they'll be like enlarged, and his were not. So that's a good sign. What's interesting is they take the urine for the cat right out of his bladder. Like, they take it from a needle instead of, like, I guess you can't force a cat to pee, so I get that, but I didn't think about it when she was like, oh, just so you know, he might have a little area where he's been shaved because we got urine out of his bladder. And I was like, ew. So his antibiotic, this is new, his antibiotic is liquid, so I have to give it to him via a syringe, which he doesn't love. And then also the vet recommended that we begin force feeding him, which is not something I ever wanted for CJ, because he's not gonna like it. But if he can eat the diet, we also got a whole bunch of special skinny cat food. Basically, it's like extra fat and extra protein. So we shall see. We shall see how it goes, but I won't have new news about him until Friday. So I'm excited to find out if there's anything actually wrong, because that would be good to know, but I don't know, who's to say, you know? AJ, I've decided to make and sell project bags next year. That's exciting, AJ. That's a good quick sewing project that'll sell well, I think. Good evening, Dave. Nice to see you this evening. It's so funny, whenever I see your username, Dave, my parents' dog is named Dave, and it makes me laugh in my head. Obviously I don't laugh out loud, but I see your name and then I'm like, Dave. I immediately think of my parents' dog, and their dog he's a special guy. He is a big puppy, a big, beautiful, dumb puppy. Love him, but also, you know, when you're like, that there is a dumb puppy. Okay, I've rolled up my yarn. Now what am I going to make? I think I could do another set of fingerless gloves. Everybody likes fingerless gloves, right? Woof Woof Breed, he is a black standard poodle. Well, he was supposed to be a black standard poodle. Oh no, wait, he is black. Sorry, my previous dog Elvis was supposed to be a black standard poodle, but he came out totally gray. Dave is a black standard poodle. He's still a baby in his head. Oh, also, painted my nails, and filed them and painted them, so now they are not going to get ripped off, and I'm going to keep it together. I'm trying to think of what I want to do for the design for this next design. I haven't designed a new thing yet. Oh, that's attractive. Let's just sit normally. Thanks, Dave. So what was I gonna say? Oh, I haven't picked a design for my next crochet thing. This hat, patrons are going to get the pattern, and the pattern today, the video tomorrow, everybody who's a patron, and then the actual video on YouTube won't launch until Thursday. So the regular world will see it on Thursday, patrons will see it a day early, and they're gonna get the pattern today, because I've done those things. But I need to film the next thing, and I'm not in the mood to film my intro to crochet single crochet tutorial. I'm just not in the mood right now, so I don't know what else I should film. Should it be fingerless gloves again? Maybe a headband? Like, I want to do like something easy that people can finish before Christmas, you know? But I don't know exactly what. I feel like I have so much of this yarn, it makes me want to do something with it. Maybe I'll just start crocheting and see where we go. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it really doesn't, but who's to say? My sister says that all the time. It makes me laugh. Who's to say? I think it's every time she says it, I giggle. Like whenever we're talking and then a question comes up, she'll just say, "Who's to say?" And every time it's the perfect response. Yes, improvise. Well, the thing is that I like to make things that come in pairs for videos because then I can make one of them off camera and then one of them on camera. Whereas if it's a hat, like a whole hat, it's like hours of crochet, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm gonna do a headband. I could do another hat. I could do glovies. Doo-da, doo-da. Oh, I have an idea. Let's see if it works. So, what are you all up to today? For me, it was just get the cat to the vet. Oh, I ordered oil. We live out in the country and our heating is via, like, oil. I don't know. I think it's just called oil. Like, I don't think we're not natural gas. We're not electric. It's like oil. Like, we burn oil, which is the worst, I know. But we live in the country and that's just the way it is out here. Okay, I have to just count for a sec. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I have to get to 33, 27, 28, 29, and 30, 31, 32, 33. I'm gonna try a like a deep ribbed fingerless glove. Wow, dang, just woke up, did not know you were doing a live. Howdy and good morning and howdy, Candace. I wasn't going to be doing a live, but I have crochet to do again, and I am not really right in the mood to film, like tutorial film right now, so I figured we could hang out. I am thinking of making another set of fingerless gloves. Do you have any suggestions? Because I'm open to doing something else. I want to do another small Christmas giftable project so that I can film a video for it. A scarf, that's going to be a long time though. Scarves are like a long project. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have an idea right now, and the idea I have is like the way that I make my sleeves with the Christmas bauble. But like, I don't want one. Is that allowed? That's the other thing. I don't want to use my yarn on things that I don't want to make for myself. A crochet bracelet. I don't know how to make a crochet bracelet. I don't know any crochet. I would have to do like lace, I guess. Hi, Anita. I wish I could share a pic with you to show the first shawl I've ever made. Well, Anita, if you join our Discord, which I think the link is below, maybe. If you join our Discord, that's where we do a lot of picture sharing of the projects that we make. But hello and welcome. Glad that you're here. Hey friends, as you're coming in, don't forget to hit the like button. Because please. I don't know. Yeah, I have nothing is going on today. I just had to take CJ to the vet, which I did. I ordered oil. I canceled a vet appointment that I was making before I made this appointment because I didn't know I was going to be able to get this appointment, so I canceled the appointment for January with the other vet so that I could just keep going to this one vet, which is good. What else did I do? I paid our hydro bill today. I don't know. It was just kind of like a administrative duties type of day so far. What happened with CJ? Okay, so here's what happened with CJ. He has a bad body score, obviously, we knew that, he's very thin. But he gained weight, so that's really good. He was 3.4 kilos in September when we took him to the vet last. He was 3.7 kilos this time, which in pounds, I tried to do the math while I was driving in my head, and it was the first time I've ever been tempted to look at my phone while driving. I didn't do that, but I was tempted. 3.7 times 2.2, right? To make it pounds. So he's 8.14 pounds, and he was 3.4 times 2.2. He was 7.48. So he's put on a little bit of weight, which is great because he's very thin. Like, he's under 8 pounds for this cat. Like, he used to be like 12 pounds, like 11 or 12 pounds, but like muscle. And now he's just like a bag of bones. So, good news, mostly good news, honestly. The only bad news was that the vet bill was very expensive. But the good news was that he doesn't have any fluid in his lungs, which is great because he's got cat herpes, which is like, for cats, it's basically just like a cold. It doesn't react how it does in humans. It's a different disease. But anyway, it's like a cold that comes when their immune system is down. So it's kind of like they get sick and then they can get secondary infections from getting sick. And the problem CJ's been having is, since he's so skinny and old, he's not kicking the infections well. So we did get new antibiotics, a different one. Before, he had something that was called Clavamox, Clava something. Anyway, some antibiotic for cats. And this time he was given a different antibiotic that's actually, it says pediatric formula on it, like it's a human, it's for, I'm gonna grab it because it made me smile or giggle. Not smile, it was more like attitude smile, you know? I will say it was hundreds of dollars more than I had anticipated. That's where it was. I was like, oh, I had just guessed a certain amount of money and I was so wrong. Okay, so he's taking now Zithromax, which it says on it that it's for babies. It says infants less than 6 months and it shows the dosage for babies, but it's like a pink. And it smells like a human antibiotic. Like, it smells like, it smells like fake cherry flavor. Ugh, poor CJ's got to taste it. Luckily, he hasn't been super excited to eat. So the vet said he probably can't smell very well, which is why he's not interested in eating. Unfortunately for him, stressfully for me, but he's got a new antibiotic, which is great. So antibiotic, oh, also the vet prescribed a specific prescription diet for him, which I always, when people are like, my dog is on a vet diet, I'm like, ugh, eye roll. It's $5 for a can. $5 a day to feed our cat now. It used to be like $30 a month. Anyway, urgent care, AD, assisted diet. It's clinical nutrition. It's like a very soft pate, but apparently it's extra high in fat and protein, so it'll help him gain weight fast. She said he only has to eat 1 can a day, which is funny that she says only, because try to convince this cat to eat. But she also said that he is now at the skinniness when we should be force feeding him, which is not what I ever wanted for him. But I do love him, so I will do that. She even gave us little syringes to feed him with. And I was like, it's gonna take 200 syringes to use 1 can, but anyway, so he got antibiotics, chest x-ray, blood work, and urine. They took urine out of his bladder. So they're gonna check his thyroid, kidney function. It was like a whole list of, it's called like geriatric blood thing. Like, they sent me the itemized receipt. It had a smart sounding name. But anyway, he's sleeping now. She didn't give him any steroids, like I said, which is good. I would look for a similar in No Name brand. They don't have that. I've been looking for that before this vet thing. Candace, I almost called you Caitlin. Hello, Caitlin. Nice to see that you're here too. She'll be here for only 5 minutes. Oh, well, glad that you're here for the time. And thank you for the CJ well wishes. And hi, Diana, and hi, Joanna. Nice to see you. Watching here, oh, from a little island in Croatia. So enjoying this live chat. Oh, thanks. This sweater actually has a tutorial for it, just so you know. It's called the Whispering Stripes, or Whisper Stripes, on my channel, if you like the sweater. So, yeah, antibiotics. They did a chest x-ray, which was fine, even though she said she didn't hear any, hey there, platypus, any fluid in his lungs, which again, I'm so okay with. That makes me happy. He doesn't have fluid in his lungs, and he didn't have a fever, which is awesome. Hey, Salma. And Platypus, did I say hi? I lost 2 nails. Got glue on standby. Yeah, that would be me every time I have false nails on. You might as well just keep it in your pocket with your chapstick. It actually happened to me in a store once, and I didn't have glue, and the girl at the cash was like, I have nail glue, and she took it out of her purse and let me use it. This was pre-pandemic, so it wasn't weird that I used a stranger's thing. Turtleneck cowl short thingy that just goes to the shoulder to wear under a coat instead of a scarf. That's a good idea. I don't know though. I think I'm gonna work on the thing I'm started. I have an idea in my head now that I've started, so I'm gonna see how it goes for a few rows first. So anyway, now I'm supposed to syringe feed CJ to ensure he eats 1 can of this high-fat, high-protein diet. I've been giving him kitten food because kitten food has higher protein, higher fat than adult cat food. They always have cat food for weight loss. Cat food for gaining weight is not available except for at the vet, so it's fine. It's just, can you imagine? Like, cat food is like 50 cents a can, and this is $5 a can. It's a steep markup, but I will feed CJ. I was cooking him like boiled chicken breasts, so if he is gonna eat this, it's less work for me. And if the vet said she will call me on Friday about his blood work and his urinalysis, so I'll have more information then. But for now, he's not. She didn't sound as worried as the vet was last time we went, if that sounds good. She didn't seem like, the last vet was like, oh my goodness, he's not feeling well. This one, she was like, oh, I don't think I need to give him anything for nausea because he's eating right now. Like, he ate at the vet. And I was like, he doesn't eat at home. I don't know why he's eating. And she said, well, cortisol, a steroid in their body, releases when they're stressed. So it is an appetite stimulant as well. So he was stressed because we went to the vet, which flooded his body with steroids, natural steroids, and then that stimulated his appetite while he was at the vet, which I thought was very interesting. So what, should I just put him in his cat carrier and do a drive around the block and then feed him his food? Just stress him out slightly so that he'll be hungry? Obviously I'm joking, but kind of I'm not, because you know, like when babies cry and the only thing that makes them not cry is like putting them in their car seat and driving, so like parents do that in the middle of the night. I'll do that for CJ if that's what it takes. What do we got here? Caitlin, I kind of felt that as an underweight person all my life. It seems like everything is about weight loss. Yeah, there's nothing for weight gain, and especially not for pets. Like, at least with people you can be like, well, I know if I eat a whole bunch of junk food, I will gain weight. There isn't junk food for cats. I can't give him salty, fatty snacks because that's not good for cats. Anyway. Ooh, made $4. Well done. Good job. It's interesting that the same issues goes for cats. Yeah, what's interesting to me is that the antibiotic costs honestly, it was kind of a lot of money for, it's not because it's for an animal, and I recognize that. I'm in Canada, I don't pay for my healthcare, so me looking at the price of an antibiotic, I'm going, when I get antibiotics, it's like $3. It's just the pharmacy dispense fee. There's no price on the actual medicine. And with an animal, even though this is a human antibiotic, because it's for an animal, it's not covered, obviously. So it's like $100. Like, what? But it would have been free if I got sick and I needed that antibiotic, or if I had a baby or whatever. So basically what I need to do is find a human doctor to be my friend so that they can prescribe me infant antibiotics so that I can, I'm joking right now just in case you're not, I'm just going to say so that I can sell it on the animal black market, but I was setting myself up for a joke, but then I realized that maybe it's not clear when I'm joking, so. But wouldn't that make it easier? Wonder if you should look into pet healthcare plan. He's 15 now. I don't really think it's I don't think so. I like, yeah, I get that it can be a good thing, but once they're past a certain age, it's like more expensive anyway, like, because he has pre-existing conditions, you know? It's not like Canadian healthcare where they'll just accept you no matter what. But, yeah, this antibiotic is, she gave it to me and said it was more than 10 days worth. So she's going to prescribe 10 days, but just keep using it until the antibiotic is done. So I don't know how long it'll actually last, but 10 days is the actual prescription for him. So we shall see. I'm hoping. I mean, I know the antibiotic is going to make him feel better, and I know that it'll make him better in the short term, but like that's not the real problem. The problem is that he's not eating and that he's not interested in eating. So I'm hoping that by treating the symptoms, he'll eat. Like, if his nose can clear up because he's got a secondary infection from his herpes, because you can't cure a virus, so they can't do anything about the virus. What they're doing is treating the bacterial infection that's in his like face. He has an upper respiratory infection. So if they can treat those symptoms so that he can smell again, apparently it should help him eat. But the problem is he's been not eating for so long now that I don't know if he's just kind of gonna be disinterested. You know, like, I don't know, when I'm skinny, it's easier for me, like when I'm in a skinny, when I'm not eating, it's easier to not eat. I don't know how to make that not sound like a terrible thing. But like when I'm in a place where when I'm motivated and I'm working and I'm taking Adderall, I don't get hungry. So then if I do that for multiple, like a month, the following month, I won't be hungry even if I didn't take the Adderall. You know what I'm saying? I just say I'm self-insulating. After all, I am in the Great White North. You know what? I feel like we should have the freedom to have several extra pounds just because we have to live in the Great White North. Patrick, Danielle. Caitlin, I'm opposite. I just look at cake and I got it on my butt and hips and belly. For me, it's lower belly and my saddlebags. I used to call it my side ass because that's what it seems like. It's like my butt, but it's not on the back. It's like my side butt, but it's not my hips. It's like my uppermost thighs. Not ideal. My son is on Adderall and a night med. I'm not on Adderall anymore. I used to be taking Adderall, like through university I took Adderall, but then I got anxiety and depression, so I had to switch it up with a different med that doesn't cause my anxiety to spike. But I'm on something that's pretty similar. It does the same thing. It helps me focus. But Adderall was giving me doom and gloom anxiety. It was not doing good things for me after using it for too long. I never abused it, like I was never using it incorrectly. I only used it as prescribed. One time I took too much and I went to the emergency room. I took 2. So I was on, I want to say 5? Is it, Alex?
Yeah.
The Adderalls, were they in 5s?
No,
10? 10 what?
Milligrams.
Milligrams? Okay. So originally I was taking 10 milligrams, and for some reason I decided to take 20 on one day. This was like 10 years ago, so like don't. But I took 20 and I thought I was gonna die. I thought I was having a heart attack, and 20 milligrams is not even a lot. Like people take 40 milligrams as like their daily dose, so like don't worry, I wasn't like actually putting myself in danger or anything. But I went to the hospital and the doctor literally told me that I was an idiot. Like, I was like, I'm dying, and he was like, you're not dying, you're fine, you're an idiot, don't do that again. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that again. I thought it would help me stay up all night, like a 5-hour energy. No, it ruined that night of essay writing for me because I literally thought I was gonna die. Not ideal. So for me, it's very effective. It very much affects me. The only downside is if I take it too many days in a row, depression starts coming in. And I didn't know it was depression. I used to just be like, it just makes me really unhappy after a couple of days. But my new one doesn't do that, which is good for you. He only takes it if he needs it or if I feel he does. He rarely takes them anymore. They make him feel like a zombie. Yeah, I don't know how, it depends how old they are, I guess. I didn't start taking it until I was like in university when I started actually struggling. When I was younger, apparently teachers and doctors recommended to my parents that I take Adderall, but I was a high achieving student and I was just really annoying. Like I talked a lot. There were several teachers who just said like, she's very bright, but there were some that were like, she's disruptive. Like she's got attention deficit. I was also deaf, so like, give me a little slack. I was a little kid that couldn't hear anything, who talked a lot. So when a teacher's being like, Laura, be quiet, it's ineffective if I can't hear you. If I'm not looking at you, how am I supposed to know what you want? Anyway, my parents never did because my mom and dad were like, she's not struggling. You want her to be on Adderall because she's disruptive, but she's not struggling. Like I wasn't having a hard time keeping up in class. I wasn't having any difficulty with the like homework type thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't struggling in that way. So they never put me on anything. And then when I was in university, oh, sorry about the internet speed, friends. It looks like I've got some glitching. Hopefully that'll clear up. I might just, no, it says it's only 2.6% of my frames are being dropped. That's still irritating, I recognize that, but I'm hoping that it'll just sort of sort itself out. One sec, okay? Just hold on one sec. Okay. Let's see if that helped. I just refreshed the, like I turned off the stream and I turned it back on. Sorry if that was disruptive, but now it shows full speed again. Anyway, yeah, I wasn't struggling in school. So my parents never thought that it was necessary, and I'm really glad that they didn't make me take anything, because I feel like a lot of what turned out to be my personality was, it's tied very tightly to ADHD for me. Like I am that. Like it's not like if I can't have any, if I'm fully medicated, like on Adderall every day, parts of Laura are missing. So I can't say that I would be the same person if my parents had decided for me to have, or Ritalin. I think when we were kids, it was still Ritalin. I don't know if Adderall was a thing when I was a kid. I think it was Ritalin until like high school time. Then Adderall started being a thing. But I didn't take any of that stuff until university because I didn't struggle. And then I went to my doctor and I was like, I think I have ADD. And she laughed. She was like, yeah. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, of course you have ADD. And I was like, okay, I came here thinking it was going to be like a whole thing to try and like get treatment from you. And she was like, no, I'm a psychologist. I already knew you had ADD. And also, let's do the test. And then obviously I was like, I passed with flying colors for having ADHD. And from there, Adderall helped me finish university. But again, I never have had the desire to overuse it, which is good, I think. Honestly, medication isn't usually recommended for kids for those reasons. Well, yeah, I honestly, like, I do think that it is part of my personality, because, like, if someone said, like, what's Laura like? One of the most common things is, like, she's talkative. Like, she's open and talkative, and sometimes just has no filter. And, like, yes, that can be a flaw or a side effect of having ADHD or whatever, but it's also just, like, part of my personality. Like, if I take that away, there's a big chunk of me missing if I'm not talking, you know? Again, though, I was also deaf, so, like, give me some slack, teachers. They didn't know. Nobody knew I had lost my hearing, because I lost my hearing while learning to speak. So they thought I had a speech impediment unrelated to my ears. So I couldn't say, I could say S and R, and then I like regressed to not being able to say S or R. My R's were like, oh, like they weren't hard R, like and then my S's were just wrong. My tongue was in the wrong place. And I didn't know because I couldn't hear myself, but that was unclear to everyone around me. And then I went deaf, like over the course of like, I guess a year or two, I went deaf. And then my parents found out, obviously. But then I got surgeries, multiple surgeries on both ears, and now I can hear, which is great. And I got my tonsils removed, and then I got my adenoids removed. Couldn't you have done it in one surgery, people? Anyway, I have a phobia of hospitals. Thanks, childhood medical trauma. But anyway, yeah, I was on ADHD until 9th because, oh, well, if it keeps you away from that, then good to be on it. If it's giving you those side effects, definitely good to be off of it. We are all beautiful in different ways, totally. Honestly, hold on. Reduced the anxiety, not significantly. 250 makes me like a depressed zombie, which is it a cuttable pill? Because I did that multiple, like when I was downgrading on my antidepressant. Yeah, sorry, my antidepressant, my anti-anxiety medication, I get them mixed up. I take both of them, so I don't know. But my antidepressant can be broken in half, so I can like downgrade if I don't need as much. You know what I'm saying? And I'm back to the initial dose I was on, which is great because I had gone up last winter quite a bit, honestly. Like I thought that was a pretty big increase that my doctor put me up. It did help me through the winter, which is great. But I reduced it this summer. I reduced it too much. I reduced it all the way down to nothing. And then I just didn't refill my prescription. And then I went on a little spiral down to the dark and twisties, as my little sister called them, the dark and twisties. And now I'm back on regular. This is not what I thought we were going to be talking about today. But you know what? I'm always down to talk about my mental health because I don't understand why it's a private thing. Honestly, I feel like if somebody's like, how are you doing today? I wish you could just be like, I'm a little depressed, and have them be like, oh, bummer, and be able to like just like say it. I mean, I'm not. Today I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling good because CJ's okay, which is like a big thing. It's one whole pill. That was my initial dose. Thankfully it's cuttable. That's awesome. That's good that you're managing it well. I was never put on Xanax or Prozac or any of the big names that you hear in movies. I was never prescribed those. Mine is like, I think in the States for you guys, it's called Lexapro. Here it's called escitalopram. Escitalopram? It's like escitalopram, something like that. But I think in the States it's called Lexapro, which works for me. I don't care what it's called. I don't even think I'm taking the brand name. I think I'm on generic now. So, you finished your hat. Yes, I did. Do you like it? I like it a lot. It's very comfy. And I almost got given. Well, some people don't do well with it, honestly, Caitlin. Like, I have friends who, when I went on it, they were like, "Ooh, maybe switch to this." And I was like, "Okay, I just went on this." So it worked really well for me really quickly. But for some people that I know, and some people that I know and love, it did not work, and it had bad side effects. But not for me. For me, it's been great. Aw, thank you. My hat is going to have a tutorial on Thursday coming out for it. It's got the ribbed brim. Isn't the color amazing? I mixed the red and green with the 90s. Like, I mixed this colorway with a red and green ball of yarn, and I feel like it came out better than both. Like, I like it better than this, and I like it better than the red and green. The whole is better than the sum of its parts. Okay, if it's working for you, whatever works for you, right? Thank you for your kind compliments on this hat. I am super into it also. I find that it is very cozy. Lisa Frank colors. Who's Lisa Frank? Where do you usually get your yarn? I'm not gonna lie, I haven't purchased yarn since my knit picks. I bought white to dye, uncolored yarn so that I can dye it. But all of this yarn has been gifted. This yarn is from Nancy. She sent it all the way from Nova Scotia, which is amazing, in this huge box last year, and she sent so much yarn, I haven't had to buy any all year. I don't think I haven't bought yarn except for yarn to dye this year in 2020, which, thank you, Nancy, you saved me hundreds of dollars this year, because I mean, I also did like slow down on my crochet, so maybe that's part of it too. I kind of lost interest for a little while, but yeah, this was sent to me, which was awesome. But before that, Michael's. We don't have a lot in where I live. We don't have a lot of yarn options. Like, I can go to small stores, like small like boutique yarn shops, but then it's like $30 for one skein of yarn, and I just can't afford to be crocheting at regular like intervals of crochet for $30 for a skein. So Michael's was pretty much maybe once in a blue moon Walmart, but even Walmart didn't really have good prices. I would always use my 40% off coupon and get balls of yarn at Michael's. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, you're here. Hi. Oh, Nancy, guess what? Okay, if you might have already heard, I saw a cat in our backyard, the pregnant mama from the spring. She's living in our backyard now. I'm pretty much certain she was eating a rabbit in our backyard, in like not our backyard, but like behind the chicken coop is where the cat shelter is, and she was near that shelter eating a huge dead rabbit. I had to take it away from her because I didn't want her to leave it behind and then a coyote come close to my chicken coop, because then it would take away one of my chickens. But she's been around, and she was choosing to eat the, like, I don't know where she killed it, but she was eating the rabbit right near the shelter. So I feel like she's sticking around, which means maybe next spring I can catch her, or throughout the winter. I want to catch her because she had a litter this spring somewhere. She was definitely pregnant, but I never had the chance to catch her. She stayed very far away. But my goal is to get a hold of this stray cat and get her fixed. Just, we don't need any more kittens. We as a global world could go like several years without needing any kittens at all, I think. Do you have a Joann's? No, we don't. Canada, well, I can't speak for all of Canada. Southern Ontario is seriously lacking in affordable yarn locations. We don't have Hobby Lobby, we don't have Joann's, we don't have, I don't know, those are the only two I can think of, honestly, but we don't have a lot of options in terms of affordable brands of yarn or affordable locations to get yarn on sale. Like, I'm not a big spender on pretty much anything, but I can't buy a regular priced ball of yarn. It's very difficult for me because I know that they go on sale. So when I would go to Michael's, if something was on sale, I could buy it. If it wasn't on sale, I had to use a coupon. Yeah, Canada doesn't got much. That's for sure. Janice. That's an interesting way to spell that. Janice, hello. Nice to see you. How's the weather in Ontario right now? It is, I mean, honestly, it's great compared to Ottawa. We used to live in Ottawa several years ago, and Ottawa is so cold from like September until June. It's just, winter is longer and darker and colder. Oh, before you leave, also don't forget to like the video if you didn't. That hot water bottle's nice and toasty. Oh, that's good. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's -2 degrees Celsius, and it snowed a little bit. Nothing stuck to the ground, but while I was at the vet, it was snowing. But I guess I was out in St. Catharines to go to the vet. I couldn't find any vets in my town that would take us on short notice, because our vet stopped being a vet for a year. He just is taking a year off. I'm saying that like in a sassy way, but really he had good reason. No, I'm not making another hat. Yes, thank you for saying it right. Oh, really? Oh, hi, welcome, thanks, I'm glad. That makes me feel very good about myself when I pronounce names right, I have to tell you. You were in my town. I'm trying to think of where I was. Like, was on 4th. That's the road that my vet was on. What vet did you go to in town? It was on 4th, the 4th Ave. That was the available vet. Although I will say, while I was driving on that street, I saw several vet clinics. Like, I turned into the wrong parking lot because I saw vet, and it was the next parking lot, but there was a vet in the parking lot that I accidentally turned into. And I was all worried because it made me 3 minutes later than I planned, and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even go to Tim Hortons after because I was flabbergasted by having to take my credit card out again. I have spent so much money today. I have to just, like, $1,000 today between ordering oil. Oh, more than $1,000 between ordering oil, paying the hydro bill, and taking the cat to the vet. I love that all of those things were possible because I'm happy that I was able to not die by doing those things, and I'm happy that I was able to afford to take CJ to the vet. But geez Louise, I hate spending money like that. I hate spending a lot of money. It's like one of my anxieties, one of my definitely weird. It's definitely coming from like a mindset of scarcity, because Alex and I used to be tight. Like we were, I mean, we're still tight, but I mean, like, we used to be pretty tight, like where I would have had to prioritize one of those things. So I know it's coming from that part of my mind, but it gives me a lot of anxiety to spend large sums of money at one time. AJ, my sister said, my thoughts are dark and punk rockish and scary, but my outer look is sunshine and rainbows. Yep. Isn't that great? So nobody can see it, so you're just struggling invisibly. Not ideal. I'm not making a hat. Did I answer that yet? Janice, I'm making I think I'm making a pair of fingerless gloves. I think. We're gonna have to... We'll see. I haven't changed. Right now I'm just doing a ribbed... I'm thinking that's gonna be the cuff. It's gonna be cute, whatever it is. Oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do at the vet? I forgot to ask them if they had a recommendation for mites for the chickens. Because I went to the feed store and they didn't have anything for mites except diatomaceous earth, and I already have that. I know the vet's name. That's I shouldn't tell anybody that. I'm on the internet. I can't tell you. Candace, we could talk about it outside of the stream. I'm not going to announce my vet and locations of things because the internet is scary. You know. Lol, as I'm telling you exactly like my mental health problems. I'll tell you all about me, but I'm not going to tell you about my physical location in space because that sounds scary. 1 and 2 and 3. At the end of a double crochet row, I feel like I only need to chain 2. Why did I chain 3 all these? Did I chain 3 here? 1, 2, I did. Okay, well, we're gonna keep doing it. True, yeah. Safety first. But yeah, I don't know where we were talking about now. I'm making, I think, a pair of fingerless gloves. Another pair of fingerless gloves. What else can they be called other than fingerless gloves? Hand warmer? Like fingerless mittens? I don't know. I do know that I am really appreciative that my wrists are letting me do this right now. Hey there, Candy Cane. Good afternoon. Welcome. Let me see, did I miss anything in the chat here? Arm warmers if you want to go all the way. Ooh, long fingerless gloves. Ooh, like back in the emo times. Were you guys there for that? Back when you wore like fishnet long fingerless gloves? The My Chemical Romance era. AJ, you were there for that. My little sister was fully a little emo when we were young. I mean, she didn't look it. She had long, very long, straight blonde hair, but she had those gloves. So, arm socks. Hey, kind of. I feel like sweaters are socks for your body. Everything is a sock if you believe. You know what my sister said? I laughed so hard. Okay, I was saying, we were having a talk about how things are different than when we were kids, which is like, honestly, like 90% of me and my family talking is nostalgia talk. Like, how are you doing? Let's talk about things that happened years ago. So we were talking about the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition, which is a big fair that happens in Toronto every year. Obviously it didn't happen this year, but every year the CNE happens, and it's like this big event, and it's a big event in our childhood. Like we have been going to this fair our whole lives, and like, so we were talking about it. And I said, you know what's strange? They stopped having a petting zoo at this fair. It's not strange that they stopped, but it's interesting that there aren't really petting zoos anymore. And my little sister just looked dead in my eyes and was like, any zoo is a petting zoo if you're brave enough. And I had never heard it, and I hope that it felt good for you to hear it, because like when I heard it I was like, that's so funny. And then right after that she said Rip Harambe, and I love my little sister. Her meme hilarity is wonderful. My little sister is very funny and very witty. She's so quick. Like she can, if you say something that could be made into a joke, her mind can just like grab the thing that relates to that to make it funny. Like she's got a talent for sarcasm and for really funny one-liner response jokes. They're always responses, which is what makes me laugh, because she makes a joke out of something I said. Rather, it's not like, let me tell you a joke. It's like she's just funny, I guess. I only really see petting zoos at like stampede season. Are you in Alberta? Stampede season. Because that's where it is the Calgary Stampede. That's where we have all of our rednecks. I don't know if that's an insulting term, but what are Canadian rednecks called? I honestly don't know. Like, what are Canadian cowboys? Do you guys have cowboys in Alberta? Is that what they're called? Like, I know in the States I would say, yeehaw, yes ma'am. Are you guys just the same cowboys that they have in the States? Would you say, yes ma'am, like to someone in a store? Because we don't really do that, I wouldn't say, throughout most of Canada. I don't know. Where have I not been? All the flat areas of Canada, I haven't been. But all of the areas that have topography, pretty much, I've been. And they don't say things like, yes sir and yes ma'am. Like, in the States, you can cross over, like, I live close to Niagara Falls, and Niagara Falls, right on the other side, is Buffalo, New York, of the border. So it's like Niagara Falls, Canada, Niagara Falls, USA, Buffalo, New York. And when you go into Buffalo, New York, like, it's literally like just over the border, and the verbiage completely changes, the accent completely changes. It's very strange to me, because you'd think, like, aren't we all the same people? We're very close by each other, but they say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. We don't really do that. Just yes and no. I mean, also, I say pardon me. I don't know if that's different instead of excuse me. Anyway, I don't know if that happens in Canada, in where our cowboys are at. Yeah, yes ma'am. So, should I ever visit Calgary? Is it worth visiting? No offense to if it's totally worth visiting and I sound super ignorant, apologies. I just love Ontario, I must say. I think Ontario is, it's great. But I do think that Ontario is what a lot of people think Canada is. It's like Ontario and then BC. People are like, or it's like Nova Scotia, Ontario, and BC, and then people don't know that there's other, like, there's very different other, maybe Quebec, because they know there's a French spot, but like, you know what I mean. It's all right. I guess I love being close to the mountains. Oh, that's nice. Do you see them from like where you live? Because that's cool. It's a melting pot, and words get changed in sounds due to all the accents adding to it. But like, Canada has some accent, because people in the stream have known I'm from Canada without me saying it. Like, they say, like, you sound Canadian, just the way I say things. And I can't hear it in myself, but I can hear it in I can hear when someone's not Canadian. You know what I mean? When I'm talking to someone, if they're American, I can hear it. There's a difference in the way in which they say things. Not necessarily the words they're using, but the way in which they say things, I can hear it. But I can also hear a maritime Canadian, and I could pick a maritime Canadian from a maritime American. Like someone from Maine sounds different than someone from Nova Scotia, even though it's the same. Like Maine and Nova Scotia, aren't they like touching? Apparently saying pop is super Canadian. Apparently. And Mickey, having a Mickey. Who's gonna pick up pop? I'll get the Mickeys. A Mickey is a unit of alcohol. Not one unit, like just one of many units. Not like you shouldn't have a Mickey as your unit, except for when you're irresponsible. Yeah. Can you get a 2-4 of pop, and then I'll get a Mickey of, watermelon vodka? I'm just thinking the only time that I would have been saying Mickey. I love my Nova Scotian relatives and the accents. For me, it's the Newfoundlanders. Our Newfies, it's just a beautiful, kind, you can hear them a mile away, and when you hear them, you're like, that's a Newfie. They are talking to everyone around them, and they're being so polite to everyone around them. I can see them from very far. They're still holding the door. Their whole family is in the store, but they're still holding the door. Newfoundlanders, that's where it's at. Nova Scotians, amazing. PEI, Prince Edward Islanders, amazing. But Newfoundlanders, hilarious. Lovely people, but I mean, obviously I can't speak on behalf of all of them. I'm sure there's terrible people in Newfoundland. Somewhere, there's gotta be, right? There's terrible people everywhere. But for the most part, anytime I've ever interacted with a Newfoundlander, they have represented Newfoundland well, because I leave any interaction with a Newfie going like, oh, what a person! They're so polite! Hooray for emo. Emo punk rock, totally. Oh. It's so good for, like, teenage vibes, I've gotta say. Like, what are the kids today who are going through the struggles listening to? They don't have this, like, Billie Eilish isn't sad enough. They need some, like, Blink-182 and, like, just sad teenage angst music. Kids today, they don't know how beautiful our sadness was. And I'm glad we say pop. I think it's more fun. Apparently there is somewhere in the States that says pop. Canadians hear and ask if I'm American due to accent, but Americans ask if I'm Canadian due to ways I say some words. Maybe you've just been too close to the border for too long. I'm not that familiar with Canadian slang, actually. Newfie accents are cool, totally. Oh, bullet for my Valentine, oh my god. The angst, totally. I don't know, I feel like I know that everybody says about Canadians, but we say about, so I don't know. We don't say about, we say about. It's still not an ooh though, it's not a boot. Anyway, there's a difference there. I don't know, there's some slangs, like the ute instead of youth. That's a Toronto slang. I call young people youths, but that's as like to separate myself clearly from them. But I am American from Canadian parents, so I'm a mess. Very good. Aren't we all though? Whenever I visit America, they're always shocked when I say I'm from Canada. They expect an accent. I feel like, yeah, people expect like a way more accent, but everybody always knows I'm Canadian. Nobody ever guesses me to be American. I've never been incorrectly labeled. Okay, maybe like once, but that would have been in like a country where nobody was speaking English, so they didn't know the different accent like bits. But for the most part, I've never been mistaken for an American, probably because I've apologized when meeting someone. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you or something like that. Yeah, sorry. We say sorry, not sorry. It's an O. Sorry. I do love being in Canada. I mean, don't get me wrong, Canada has so much screwed up stuff, just like the States, but There's like this, I get good vibes. Most of the time anyway. Explaining geographically to Americans where provinces are stressful. Yeah, but they have so many more divisions in their space. If you look at like how big Canada is and how big the states are, like we only have, what do we have now? 13? Because we had 10 provinces and then we've got the territories. Northwest Territory, Yukon, and hold on. Northwest Territories, the Yukon, and come on, Laura, it's the one that's above Ontario. Okay, help me out. What's above Ontario? Northwest Territories, Yukon, and Nunavut. Thank you, Nunavut. And I knew. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we've got 13 and you guys have got 50. Like, you've divided it so much smaller. But we do have most of our population in Ontario. If you look at the population distribution of Canada, it's very Ontario. I didn't realize that it's much more sparsely populated than I thought. Like, I knew Canada only had like, what, 30 something million, and the States has like 300 something million, so you guys have way more people in the States than we do in Canada, but we have a huge amount of land that is just under ice. First of all, that's all everybody up north. There's only a few communities in like Northwest Territories, Nunavut, and Yukon because it's cold. Nothing can survive up there except like seals and polar bears and lichen and stuff. So there's small communities there, not huge communities. But like even, I don't know, if you just look at like a population map of Canada, like where, you know, like the dots are showing where people are, it's a lot. There's a lot in Ontario, and then it really becomes a lot more sparse as you get farther away from Ontario. And then BC's nice. So people stay there. Thank you, sorry, Nunavut. So, whatever. I didn't forget, I just forgot, you know what I mean? Fun Canadian holiday family activity. Blank maps of America, naming as many states as you can remember. Oh god. Texas. That's one that I'll always... Texas and Florida I can find. California, Texas, and Florida. Like, I can put those. And I could do New York just because I know that New York touches, like, my part of the border, so... Most of the rest of them would just be, like, pin the tail on the donkey. I have no idea. Like, I know that they exist, and I know I know in my head that, like, Minnesota, I know what the weather is like, so that can give me an idea of where it is, but, like, specifically... No, couldn't tell you most of those places. That's a fun idea for a Canada holiday, a Canada activity. Only downside, that is not something that's happening really this year. Okay, I'm gonna switch to a different stitch now. I think that's a long enough brim for a hand, like a wrist. That's super cute though. So it'll be like that. And then I'll go up from here. Hold on. Gotta get my loop. Sorry, I'm also talking quieter now. I don't know if you noticed me like get less animated. Alex is in a meeting and I got nervous that they could hear me. They can't hear me. He's got headphones on, but still, it made me go like, don't listen to me talking. It's funny. I'm like on the internet being like, come on, listen to me talk. And then when like people who know Alex, not me, but I mean like they know him, which means they know the real side, like the home version. It's like, oh, I hope they can't hear me. Literally, when I'm recording videos, I make Alex wear headphones because I'm nervous of him hearing me record videos. What's your job, Laura? Recording videos. Hello. What can you do? So, I think this is going to be a good little project. It's not going to be too hard, which I appreciate. Or not too, it's not going to take too long. Oh, excuse me. Also, for those of you who are new, subscribe because I live stream every Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. And you should come to that tomorrow because it's fun and we have like a good community already built there, which is fun. But also I'm gonna just be doing little pop-up streams here and there. I haven't decided what time of day and what day I really like, so I'm just gonna sort of play around with it until I find one where I'm like, ooh, I loved that time of day, you know. Yesterday I did from 1 until 3, I think, and I'm gonna do 1 until I feel like I'm done today. See how it goes and whatnot. Need a coffee. I have my tea, I have my water, I'm all set up. I have my high fat, high protein cat food. Oh bother. So, what else can I tell you? I don't have any exciting things. I want to go to the plant store and go plant shopping, but the number of cases is too high for me to feel comfortable going anywhere for any reason other than essential trips. So it's just the grocery store. I get to take an extra long look at the terrible variety of plants at the grocery store when I go next, which I have to do. I'll probably do that tomorrow or Thursday. Friday's my last day that I'm allowed to do anything before Christmas because I'm quarantining for 5 days before I see my older sister, because I don't want to risk hurting anyone I love. So I'm going to isolate in order to protect and prevent any of the possibilities. She too is isolating. A lot of my family is actually able to isolate, which is really cool because that means a few of us can get together, which is nice. Janice, I just finished crocheting 6 teacher gifts. Wow, what did you make? For whose teachers? Your kids' teachers, your teachers, or are you a teacher giving to other teachers? What's the vibe? Hey there, Mary Kate, nice to see you. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Hey, you're getting the pattern for my hat today because you're a patron, so you are getting early access to the pattern for this hat. Everybody else isn't going to ever get the pattern because only patrons get my patterns, but everybody else will get the video on Thursday. You're getting the video tomorrow, or today if I finish it today, but we shall see. I've got it all edited one time. I have to go over it another time to add titles and music, but still you're getting it early. They're for my teachers. I made baskets with amigurumi stuffies inside. Oh, Janice, that's so cool. What did you make? Tell me about it. Oh, awesome. I'm glad about that, Mary Kate. That makes me happy. I made all these foods for my culinary teachers. Oh, cool. Oh, little amigurumi food. Amigurumi food is wonderful. Did you put cute little smiley faces on them and little eyeballs? Did you put blush on their high up amigurumi cheeks? I feel like that's the style, is that they have like those little smiles. I think I'm just going to use half double crochet for the rest of this pattern because I think that'll be easiest. Eggs Benedict. Okay, let me think. Is it all one piece or is it take apartable? Did you have to... I don't have any safety eyes yet. Oh no. So they were faceless amigurumi? Are they even amigurumi without faces? Okay, Eggs Benedict. So that's an egg McMuffin. I guess it's just a English muffin, right? English muffin, egg, that sauce? Is that all that's in an Eggs Benedict? Is there any meat in Eggs Benedict? Like it was crocheted separate and sewn together. Oh, cool! Yes, they're non-sentient. You need to anthropomorphize your amigurumi. Non-sentient. That makes me hungry, yeah. Oh, back bacon. That's true. Or Canadian bacon for non-Canadians. Back bacon on a bun. Montreal smoked meat sandwich. Boiled dinner. Hashtag Canada. So cringe. Oh dear. Okay, let me show you what I'm looking at right now. So this is what we've got. You can see that ribbed section, and then the top is going to be half double crochet, which I think will come out really cute. I love how the yarn looks together. I'm doing green mixed with 90s colorway. Back bacon. Haven't had back bacon in a while. Aw, thank you. Haven't had back bacon in a while. I had bacon, like regular old bacon, last week. Aw, thanks, friends. You guys make me feel good. You make me feel like artsy. Because Alex is like I like it, but like Alex can't crochet, so like I could be like, look, and he'd go, I like it, you know what I mean? Like to him it's just like Laura plus yarn plus time equals sweater, but like that's how he understands it, not like Laura plus time plus 1 million stitches equals sweater, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can work on the beanie for my snow day project tomorrow. Totally, Mary Kate. I'm gonna say, if you're okay at crocheting, a 2-hour hat. I think so. Same though. Well, good, I'm glad. I love having you guys here, it's fun. It's good to be able to just sit and chat about whatever while crocheting, because usually I'm just like either sitting watching a YouTube video or a Netflix binge watch or sitting in silence while I crochet, you know? But I can just turn on the stream and then we can hang out instead, and then I'm not bored, and then I'm getting stuff done. Like this is something I actually have to do, like, because it's my job, so I have to do my job. I've been slacking at doing my job. Luckily, YouTube works in a way that my old videos were keeping me afloat during that time, but I have to do my job in order to make money. So why do it in silence alone when I could do it with you guys? Way more fun. Laura, tomorrow I'm putting together my puffy sleeve cardigan. Oh, I'm excited for you. I want to see it. I want to see the sleeves, honestly. Just the words puffy sleeve. I love it. I love puffy. I mean, I know right now I'm not wearing a puffy sleeve thing, but I do love them. Hi, Nelia. Ooh, that's a pretty name. Nelia. Hi, Nelia. Ooh, Whitaker. I love that last name. Whitaker. Laura Whitaker. Doesn't that sound good? Everything sounds... Whitaker makes it sound like a... I don't know how to say this without sounding any kind of way, but the word old money is what my brain sees with the name Whitaker. Hello, I'm Lawrence Whitaker, don't you think? Anyway, like your name, Nelia. Beautiful name. And hello. Got them off Wish. What'd you get off Wish? Hold on. Where do you get crochet hook? Never saw one like the one... Oh, yeah, off Wish. They're like fancy handled ones. I got them as a gift last year. Laura, tomorrow I'm putting... Oh, I read that already. Good. Mary Kate, so I bought a great wheel as a Christmas present for myself last week, and I'm super excited. Oh, you got a spinning wheel. That's awesome. Ooh. I have not spun except for from a drop spindle, and I think it looks very fun, so I hope that you have an awesome time doing that. Thank you. How are you? Glad I clicked your live. I'm doing well, thank you. I mean, crocheting. Today is a crochet day. I also have to water my plants today because since I've been taking really good care of myself this week, the plants kind of got put on a back burner a little bit. So I do have to do one of those once-overs on my plants. Oh, I have something amazing to show you regarding my plants though. So I've had this issue with thrips, which are a little tiny black bug that eats your leaves, eats the leaves on your plants and causes damage. So like, hold on, let me show you the damage it can cause. So like, here's the leaf. Do you see that scratch on this bottom leaf here? One sec, see if I can get, do you see that scratch? That's what thrips do. They just damage your leaves. So I got these sticky things. Where's the box? Ow! I just stabbed myself with a knitting needle. Okay, so I got these sticky things. And you stick them in your plant, and look at how many thrips it caught. Each one of those is a bug. Like, do you understand how many thrips were they? You don't see them. Like, you don't see them while they don't fly. They're like, they have wings, but they don't fly around. It's not like you see them out and about. They like crawl in the soil, and they eat. Oh, thank you. And they eat your plant. They like scrape at your plants and damage them. But I got this amazing sticky thing, and I mean, it's kind of mortifying how each one of them that I stuck into the soil is like that it has this many bugs on it, which means there were literally hundreds of these thrips in my area, but there is no new damage on any of my plants. Since I put this in, like there is no new damage. Also, I'm aware this looks like a very sad oxalis, but it's fine. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about her. Her name is Frida, and she's doing okay. Like, look at this one. In my jasmine plant, look at how many it caught. It's insane to me. Because you don't see them. They're not flying around. Like, I have good eyesight. I see them on the leaves, and I kill them when I see them. But, so that made me very happy. We have like 13 money plants, and the flies are everywhere. 13 money plants? I don't know, what would you call it? One plant? I have like, I guess it's like 8 plants. Candace actually gave this to me. My money tree. It's all in one pot, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plants in the pot. Here's my money tree. But see, the thrips damaged this too. They just take a few bites and then leave, so the whole plant ends up looking kind of shabby. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of thrips. Apparently they come in from outside in the fall. Yes, she's gorgeous. I'm very proud that it's not dead, honestly. Every plant that doesn't die makes me feel like a superhero, so. Wow, they're straightened up. I unbraided them, yeah. I unbraided them because I felt like they were being forced into a braid, you know? So I unbraided them, and I was like, I still think of it as your hug tree. Well, with my hug blanket and my hug tree, I am enjoying the hug. I may have missed this, but how is CJ doing? You did, but I'm happy to tell you again. So he's right here, sleeping underneath a heat lamp in a bed. You can see him breathing, hopefully. He is breathing, but I mean, you can see it, hopefully. I guess we can keep it like that. Thunder's there too. Oh, thank you. It is available as a tutorial on my channel. Not that, I know you're just like saying a nice thing, but if you like it, like you want to learn how to make it, I have a tutorial for it. Anyway, CJ's good. We went to the vet today. We got antibiotics. They did a chest x-ray, urine, I don't know what urine sample. They're testing his urine to check his kidneys, blood test, antibiotics, food that's special for skinny, sick cats. She said his teeth looked good, which is good, because I was concerned that he is old, so his teeth are probably bad, but she said his teeth were okay. What else does he have to do? Or did I have to do? He's okay, he's just really skinny, and the vet was like, he's very skinny. And I was like, yes, but he has put on weight, so that's good, because when I went to the vet in September or October, either the end of September or the beginning of October, whenever I went last, he was 3.4 kilos, which is 7 point something pounds, and now he's 3.7 kilos, which is 8 point something pounds. So he's gaining weight very slowly, obviously, but, you know. Oh, Nelia, thank you. An inspiration. I can't believe that. That's so, it sounds beautiful, but also, like, I'm a mess. So the idea that anyone would be inspired by me kind of makes me, like, sarcastically laugh, because I'm, like, literally, like, an explosion. There is just, like, I'm like a car crash, you can't look away. What's gonna happen next? Will she break down? Tune in next time. But thank you. But anyway, he's okay. The vet, what was good news was the vet said he didn't have any fluid in his lungs and he didn't have a fever. And when we went to the vet last, he had fluid in his lungs and a fever. So he had to get a steroid injection back then and antibiotics. He's on a different antibiotic. This one is a liquid one, but no fluid in his lungs, which is like awesome, because I was concerned that that would be coming back now that that happened, because that was the first time that had happened for him. But she said no, his upper respiratory infection is just in his face. She said it's not even in his lower throat. She said all of the sounds that she could hear are in his she said upper face when she said it to me. But thyroid issue, I don't know. They took blood and urine, and the blood test was like $200, so I'm guessing they're doing several tests with that. But the only downside, okay, so all good news regarding CJ, the only bad news is his body condition is a 3 out of 9, which is like very thin. If you Google body cat condition 3 out of 9, you'll see it's unhealthy. It's not where a cat should be at. So he is underweight for sure. And the other bad news is that the vet cost hundreds of dollars, and I wasn't anticipating that. I had already paid for the vet visit. Like you had to prepay when you booked it, which was fine because of like COVID stuff. And I thought like, oh, it'll probably be another $100 or so on top of like what I already paid. That's what I was like in my head. I was like, $180. It's gotta like tap out 180. I don't know why that's the number that was in my head. Well, I was very wrong. I was wrong by more than $100. I was wrong by hundreds of dollars, which I love my cat. I'd pay it again. But oh my God, when you're not used to paying for healthcare, paying a lot for the vet surprises you, or it surprises me every time that I go to the vet and it costs hundreds of dollars. I'm like, you gave him a needle. I get a needle for free. Every flu season, I get needles for free. He doesn't even go outside. Why does he need a rabies shot? You know, like that kind of thing. But anyway, he's doing better than he was in the summer. I'm still glad that we went into the vet because he still does have a new secondary upper respiratory infection. But prognosis is good. So I'm going to find out about his thyroid, kidneys, and general blood work on Friday. So that's what she said. She'd call me on Friday. So, oh, and x-ray. We'll find out whatever that was. But she said she didn't hear any fluid in his lungs. She just wanted to see if there was anything obstructing anything, like in his like trachea. Oh God, same. I used to have a hedgehog. Vet bills are crazy. Yeah, they're like, I don't know. When I go with Thunder annually for all of his shots and stuff, it's like, probably that's why I had $180 in my head. It's usually between like $150 and $200 for his like rabies, vet checkup, what else? All the shots. They get like their annual shots, you know? And I'm used to that fee. But CJ, he's an indoor cat. We weren't taking him to the vet until like last year or maybe the year before when he started having secondary infections from his herpes virus. Cats get a different type of herpes. They get it from each other. Close contact between cats can give each other herpes, and it manifests in cats as respiratory infections. He was housed with 2 kittens for like a week while we were waiting to give the kittens to the family that they were going to, and he got it from them. And unfortunately, it has manifested in very expensive issues for him, and the kittens are freaking fine. They're beautiful and they're healthy, but their herpes doesn't manifest in any way. Lucky. Anyway, we weren't used to taking CJ to the vet. He stopped going to the vet for like annual shots when he was like 5, and he's 15. So like, yeah, basically, it's just a surprise to spend a whole lot of money on a cat. I mean, I'm happy to do it, and I'm willing to do it, and I knew it would cost money, but I haven't done it before, so it was a new feeling. Like, I've spent a lot of money on dogs before. On Thunder before. We've taken him to emergency vets when he eats things he shouldn't. We've taken him to the vet annually for his like normal stuff, but the cat doesn't need annual stuff. Probably you should still just take your cat to the vet annually anyway, but we weren't because he was healthy and he was fine. So it's only been a new thing of him having to go into the vet because he's not been doing well. So yeah, just adopt a cat for free, because if you do that, you're still going to end up spending probably a couple $1,000s on their vet care. Whereas if you go and buy a pure breed fancy schmancy Bengal for, I don't know, over $1,000, then you're still going to be paying those thousands of dollars for vet care. That universal health care, wish we had that. Ooh, I do love it. And in the end, he'll just be a frail old snotty man. Money well spent. Yep, he'll still just be a frail old snotty man. Hopefully, he's going to be a slightly less frail snotty old man. Because like the herpes virus will never go away for him. It's just what he's got. I'm just hoping that he can put on some weight and keep the weight on, and also eat food. My cat is 15 too. Aw, hi Sylvia. And then our cats are, what are they called? Like lunar twins or something? solar twins. There's like a name for that when you're like, not birthdays are the same, but like, I don't know. There's a word for it. Hold on. My cats are 12 out of 9 then. 12 out of 9. What did I say that? Hold on. Oh, body condition, 3 out of 9. 13, 12, and 8. We just have the one, and Alex, I said, let's get a foster cat. We would have to get a foster cat that already has herpes, but get a foster cat because it might incentivize CJ to eat. Alex is not on board. Hi, greetings from Spain. How's Spain right now, where you are? How's the weather? Is it amazing? Because obviously it is. I'm in southern Ontario, and as you can see, I'm wearing a sweater and a hat inside, sitting on a blanket, so that'll tell you how our weather is. Hey there, Lori. I'm well. How are you today? I am feeling pretty good. Good news for CJ, so good news for Laura. Okay, I'm gonna tell the info again. By the end of this, you guys are gonna be very well knowledgeable, very well versed on CJ's medical needs. Okay, so the vet, there's a good summary, Candace. The vet did blood work, urine, x-ray. Blood work, urine, and x-ray, is that it? Yeah, and he has antibiotics, again, new antibiotics, different antibiotics, and he has special food that the vet sold us that is assisted diet for urgent care for skinny animals. It's a prescription diet. So, yeah, Candace, exactly. How cold is cold in Spain? It's still above 0 there, isn't it? But anyway, he's very skinny, the vet said, but he doesn't have any fluid in his lungs, which is awesome. And he just has an upper respiratory infection. Nothing specifically new. The thing that is going to be new that I don't think is going to be very fun at all is the vet has recommended that we force feed him for a couple of weeks, just so that he has enough food in his stomach for a couple of weeks, because hopefully after that point he'll be clear up enough that he'll eat on his own. But yeah, she even like filled up our bag with little syringes to fill with food. Hello from Turkey. Hello, Marixa. Ooh, that's an interesting name, Marixa. I like that. I like names with X in them. I'm at -2, feels like -5. My poor chickens. They are fine. They're outside. They're walking around making noise, having a good day. I mean, where are you from? I'm in southern Ontario. I'm from Ontario, Canada. Did you just growl? Oh, he growled at the cat. I'm in southern Ontario. Right now 7. Oh, that is pretty cold. Oh, right, Canada. That is pretty cold. 7 degrees Celsius that's pretty chilly for like what I would imagine Spain is like. Because in my head, Spain is like amazing temperature all the time. I love Antarctica. Nice. No thanks. I'm good. I don't want to go anywhere that's colder than here anymore. They have aliens. Probably. Oh, it's not Marixa. Is it Murica? Is it a play on Murica? It depends. How do you think the world is shaped, Marixa? What's the shape of the world? That will determine to me. That. My bigger cat Ginger lived to be 20 years. My big ginger cat lived to be 20 years old. Joanna, I will hope that your wish works, because I would love to have him for 21 years. Oh, I just need him to put on some weight. He's just too thin. Body condition of 3 out of 9. Poor guy. But that's it. He's skinny and he has an upper respiratory infection. I mean, she did a whole bunch of tests, right? So I won't find out till Friday about those. I'm hoping there's nothing with his kidneys or liver or whatever, but she said his kidneys were not abnormally sized, so that's good. She said they weren't like swollen. I don't know if she used the word swollen, but she said they didn't feel off. And she used something to talk about the size of them in that statement. Anyway, my old man, my little old kitty cat with a snotty nose, he seems okay. Can start calling him Twiggy. Oh, my poor little Twiggy CJ. No, he's always gonna be a mean, lovely cat. Sylvia, we have pretty cold winters and really hot summers, but tourists come in summer, so we have a reputation for being warm all year round. Well, honestly, I didn't really realize that Spain had like 4 seasons. I just didn't know. How cold does it actually get there then, where you are anyway? Like, what's the coldest it'll get in your winter? Does it go below 0? Do you get snowy days in the wintertime? Because that's new news to me, honestly. Do you get, Candace, on the same page as me, do you get snow? Is that just a Canada thing? Does anyone else get snow? I'm just kidding, I know it's not a Canada thing. So, pretty good news regarding CJ. The only bad news was the bill. That was the only, well, no. The bad news was that he's not, like, he's very thin. But the bill was astronomical. Russia does, yes, yes. But Russia's also huge. So, it's bound to. Well, I'm in the center, so it's not the coldest. We rarely get snow. In the mountains, yes. Oh, cool. Well, good info, Sylvia. I'll share that at a party someday in the future when parties are allowed. Did you know sometimes in the mountains in Spain it snows? Yeah, it can get pretty cold there. Yeah. Secondhand knowledge. It can get down to 7 degrees Celsius in certain parts. So I'll say that. So that means you need winter tires then. We're supposed to get hit by a northeast. No, really? I don't want a storm. When's ours coming? If you're getting it in Boston, it comes to us on Thursday. Thursday is when our stormy weather comes. Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All next week is either raining, snowing, or cloudy. Great. Awesome. I think it's bypassing us. No, it won't. It won't bypass me. I'm on the mountain. Every time there's snow, even at my parents' farm, if there's like a little bit of snow, you come here and there's a foot of snow. And I live 25 minutes away from my parents. And the weather is different because we live on the edge of a mountain. So anytime a cloud hits, it means precipitation for us. It's snowing right now. It's not gonna land on the ground and like become snow, but like the air has snow in it. I think it isn't going up north of us. Good. Well, we're still getting snow this week. Just not storm, I guess. Oh, bye, Mary. My lunch break's over. See you soon. Bye. I don't know how many rows I should do for this hand warmer. This will be another cute little easy video that I can bang out in one day, which is always a good thing. Yeah, that'll be nice. I might even keep those for me. I like that. Anyway, I would say -5 at night, but not negative numbers during the day. I wish that was here. I wish there were never negative numbers during the day. I could go my whole life with never having it get below 0 ever again. I mean, like, I know that, like, global warming, we shouldn't, blah. We need, cold is good, blah. Canada needs 4 seasons, blah. That's why we don't have any poisonous things, because everything dies in the winter here. But still, imagine if it just didn't get quite so cold. Although, where I live in southern Ontario, I'm in like a microclimate, so it doesn't really get quite that cold. Well, Lori, the pattern is going up today on Patreon, and then tomorrow the video is going up on Patreon, and then Thursday the video is going up on regular YouTube. So, you should see. You should do a quick and easy pot holder. A pot holder. Like to put on the handle? A pot holder. Why don't I have a picture of what that is in my head? The word ribbed was looking like not a real word yesterday. When I was typing the titles, I was typing ribbed brim beanie, and I typed ribbed so many times that I couldn't make it look normal in my head anymore. So I feel like that's the same with pot holder right now. I just don't have a picture, like my brain is like, that's not a thing we have. Like an oven mitt? Is that what a pot holder is then? Because when I search pot holder on Pinterest, it's like those, it's not an oven mitt, but it's like an oven mitt. It's like a not oven mitt oven mitt. No, to pick up pots or to put the hot pot on. Like a flat oven mitt. It's, the basic premise is the same. You put your hand in somewhere to protect it from heat. I could do that. After this pair of fingerless gloves. Although now I have to draw out this pattern, so I think I'll do that this evening because I'm going to finish my edit on the video, my final edit on the hat video, and then I can draw the pattern out for this evening. That way I can film this tomorrow. I'm motivated. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have been taking my meds on time every single day for like a month, so I'm all here, which is wonderful. No depression, minimal, I can't say minimal anxiety. Anxiety is kind of, anti-anxiety medications just keep me from worrying that people are going to die. They don't keep anxiety from happening. They make it less insane, that's all. But I've been less anxious, or more realistically anxious, and not depressed, or at least not depressed enough to not work. And I've been working like really hard for like at least a full week, which is good. I just have to keep it up, that's all. I'm not gonna burn myself out, but I am going to make a rule, a YouTube rule, because 2021 is the year of Laura on YouTube. I'm gonna blow up in 2021. You're gonna see by the end of next year, you're gonna be like, oh my God, wow, Laura, you have so much going on in your YouTube's lifestyle. But in order to do that, I have to keep up my motivation, which means I have to take care of myself. So I've decided that every single day I have my nighttime routine that I have followed for like a whole bunch of days in a row. And I'm going to share more about it tomorrow. I shared some of it yesterday, but I'm going to because the regular community is there every Wednesday morning, so I want to share with all of the regulars, as it were. But I'm going to do either I have to film something or I have to edit something every day, like every weekday. I have to do a little bit of at least filming or editing. I don't have to do both. I can if I want to, but I have to do one or the other. And that way I have to do something that is like work, like it's work. I put these because I know it's not work that is acknowledged as real work. Like in my head, I just assume my parents think I'm like, I don't even know. But it's my job and I have to do it. It's just hard when it's completely based on self-motivation, when I am someone who has a high level of distractibility. So I have to take really good care of myself and drink water and take my vitamins and wake up and go to sleep at the same time. And I have to treat myself like a child, honestly. I have to have a schedule, or else I will just build terrariums all day and look at my plants. Like I can do that for like hours and hours. Anyway, not to pick up pots. No, to pick up, okay, good. It's quick and people like quick patterns. Hand warmer. I once got stuck on the word of while writing an essay, could not sound it out phonetically. I had to ask my mom. I was over 30, right? Because if you've seen it too many times, it just is, you're like, off. Why is it not sounding like for me it's the word truck. That happens like more often than I care to admit. Like, why truck? But yeah, totally, when you have words that just don't make sense. Don't forget it's cold. Could crochet up a tube and basically make a draft dodger, like that you put at the bottom of doors. Oh, that's true too. Oh, I don't know if you heard that, but it felt really good. A draft dodger. That's a cute name for it. I haven't heard it called a draft dodger, but I like that name. I feel like I've heard it called a door snake or a door otter. There was like a door animal name. Anyway, I heard that. Well, it felt good. If you've got cotton, you can do a bowl warmer or cozy, so you can put under the bowl in the microwave. True. I want to do dishcloths with my cotton for my stitch tutorials. So like in order to make, like I have a tutorial coming that I haven't filmed because I haven't figured out exactly how I want it to be how I want it to be, basically. But I want to do really, really, really beginner basic tutorials, like how to do a single crochet. I've already written the instructions and drawn out the pattern, but I also want, when you're learning the single crochet stitch, to be able to actually like get something, like an item out of the video. So I figured if I just do dishcloths that are like all the same size but in the different stitches, it's basically a swatch, but also then I get use out of it, and then whoever's learning to crochet can actually make something on their first project, like on their first learning. So I was thinking dishcloths with my cotton, because cotton is also really nice for visually seeing the stitches, like it films well. So yeah, I thought it would be a way that it would be like every one of them could be like a square, you know what I mean? Or put all the mini swatches together for a small pet blanket. But I figure, yeah, I could do that, but I figure if I do it as a washcloth, I get a washcloth out of it, you know? And I like cotton washcloths. Fingerless gloves. Ha, Sylvia, yes, I am making fingerless gloves. I actually think I'm almost done, if I'm honest. Hey there, Wilma. How's it going today? I am crocheting again because I wear my wrist brace to bed every night, and I take my glucosamine and my fish oil and my iron and my B12. So now I can crochet again. Not as vigorously as before. I started having carpal tunnel symptoms, issues, I don't know what you'd call it. Before that, I didn't have the issues that I'm having now, but at least now it's manageable again. Yes, I am good. Thank you for asking. I think that might be big enough. Sorry, one sec, I'm just figuring out. I guess it's not enough yet. More we go. Anywho, weather's gonna be crap for me for a few months now. No, but it is nicer in southern Ontario than it ever was in Ottawa. It was just too cold for me there. Here it's like sometimes it snows and it's very snowy and cold, but there will be days in the winter where it warms up enough that all the snow melts. That's not the case in Ottawa. As soon as the snow hits the ground, like, and sticks to the ground, it's not leaving. Oh my god, I'm taking glucosamine too. Tastes horrible. Mine is in a capsule, so I don't taste it. What I taste is the omega-3, omega-369 or I don't know if it's omega-369 or if it's just omega-3, but the omega-3 is like fish oil, and it's like for hours after I take it, I burp that fish salmon taste. Disgusting. It's disgusting when you're not eating salmon. Like when you've just eaten like toast with butter and then you burp the taste of salmon. Unpleasant. Or if you've eaten something sweet, ugh, even more unpleasant. But the glucosamine I haven't tasted. Yeah. Lucky you. Yes, definitely. I don't need another yucky flavor. Salmon flavor or fish flavor is enough. Thanks. But I think that it is helping though, because I was having it was hard to do anything with my wrists and my knee. I couldn't sit on my, I have my knee up right now. I couldn't sit like how I'm sitting right now for like at least a month because my knee hurt and my ankle hurt if I was crossing my legs. Oh, you're in Ottawa. Hi, Bernadette. With a last name like Bernadette Tremblay, you definitely sound like Ottawa, just between Gatineau and Ottawa. There's a lot of Tremblays in Ottawa. At least there were when I lived there. No, that's true. There actually are, for sure, way more than there are where I live now. Although I was way more social in Ottawa, so maybe it's just I knew more people. But also, welcome, Bernadette. Glad you're here. Love the name. And also, where are you in Ottawa? Alex and I lived on, what was the last street? We said Gloucester, downtown. Gloucester and Bank was our last apartment, before we moved to Toronto. And before that, we lived in Lees. I know you know what Lees is. And before that, we lived on Marlborough by Ottawa U. Oh, you're in Shawville. Well, welcome to the stream. We are in Southern Ontario. I'm in Southern Ontario. And I make stuff and talk a lot, so I'm glad you're here. But yes, Ottawa's just a little too cold for me. I like going to visit because honestly, if you could pick Ottawa up, like Ottawa proper, if you could pick Ottawa proper up and just drop it down here, I would never leave. Ottawa is so beautifully, like, it's beautiful. The people literally come in tourist truck van bus loads. Like, the Chinese tourists that come to Ottawa to take photographs of the leaves because it's so beautiful there. Because like Gatineau, which is Quebec, but it's Ottawa, Gatineau is like the same thing. It's like all mountainy, like big mountainy hills, and it's just covered in beautiful trees. It's so beautiful in autumn, and I mean, it's really hot in the summer. Ooh, a new patron. Hello, Lori. Welcome to my Patreon. Yeah, so it's beautiful. It's very beautiful in Ottawa. The only downside is it's really like bitterly cold in Ottawa in the winter. Like, it hurts to breathe. It hurts to be outside. It hurts to like have your eyes open outside. Like, you'll get like frozen eyelashes because your eyes will be crying, and then when the water gets onto your eyelashes, it'll freeze. Like, that genuinely happened. You can't go out with wet hair in the winter in Ottawa. Not a thing. Anyway. I still like it though. Just to visit though. Is that long enough yet? Anywho. Somebody suggested that I make a cardigan next on a comment on one of my recent videos. I'm down. But I think I want to make a cardigan that has buttons this time. If I do a cardigan, I think I want one that can close up. Because now it's winter, so I need to be able to stay warm all the time. So I want to, and whenever I make a new sweater, it's like the only thing I wear for a while. So I figure I might as well make something that is gonna keep me actually really warm. Amazing how different the temperatures could be. It's a stark contrast. For not a very far like distance, like it's like a 5.5, 6 hour drive, and it's a different climate. Yes, I know the tourist is crazy. Yes, freeze, and the chickens are so cold. I feel so bad. Oh, you put them in the greenhouse? Oh, how many chickens have you got? That's so fun. I actually check on Kijiji, which is like Canada's Craigslist, or Ontario. I don't even know if it's all of, yeah, it's all of Canada. It's like our Craigslist, but it's way better than Craigslist. No offense, but Craigslist is awful to navigate. It's like ugly. It's an ugly website. Kijiji is like a pretty website. It's owned by eBay now, so it's prettier. But anyway, I go on Kijiji and I look at the chickens for sale in Ottawa. And in my head, I'm like, when I go visit my sister, I'll just pick up chickens on the way home. I'm not going to do that, but the prices of the chicken, like price to purchase a hen in Ottawa or Ottawa area, like Renfrew, like on the way, it's like less. I love how in America 5-6 hours is not a long distance. I'm in Canada, first of all. North America, but Canada. And 5 or 6 hours is not a lot. Well, have you seen a map of Canada? Like, to go visit family in Nova Scotia, it's like an 18-hour drive. And like, they're in a close by province. Like, you have to fly to get to parts of Canada. When you did your ribbing, did you do the front post? Yes, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. Yes, that's what I did. And now for the upper hand part, I'm just doing half double crochets, but I'm doing them in the large gap between 2 stitches rather than just the in the top of the stitch. It just makes it a little bit more dense. A little thicker, I want to say. Sorry, America is the name of the continent in Spanish. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I guess it's just here, when I hear America, it means USA. unless you say Americas, like with an S on the end. The Americas, I would understand that you include Canada and Mexico in that. But when you just say America, I just assume you mean US and A. US and A, whenever I say US and A, Alex says, greatest country in the world, like Borat. Except Alex does it in a Russian accent because he is from Belarus, so he can't do any accent except Russian. But he's pretty good at a Russian accent because his first language is Russian, so. Anywho, I'm in the US and a 5-hour drive is a long trip. And not. It is and it's not. It's long, but it's also like, it's something you would do, you know? In your lifetime, it wouldn't be like when I lived in Ottawa, I would drive down to Southern Ontario to visit my family 6 times a year. Like every other month we'd be driving down. So like it's a long drive, but it's a drive that we would do often. So it's not like it's long enough where you're like, I'm only doing that once. Sorry, I'm just checking if the thing is long enough yet. This is gonna be so cute. Look how cute that is. And they're gonna be like fitted, which I love. I think that'll be good. I think I wanna make them a little longer. I'm kind of enjoying the feel of this yarn. I love the Russian accent. Me too. Me too. It's a good accent. That's for sure. It comes out a little more strongly if Alex has had something to drink. Honestly though, I haven't heard it in a while because Alex has been on a medication that doesn't allow him to drink alcohol. I don't really drink alcohol very much, but Alex used to have wine, and if we would go out like to a party, he would drink. And I think it's gotta have been, I don't know, 3 years now since he's like had enough alcohol to feel anything from it. Which sucks because he actually enjoyed like drinking wine. But alas, his eczema, the medication that he takes for that. Oh, amazing. My oil is here. She said it wasn't going to be here for, is he going to come talk to me? I hope not. There's a possibility that I have to leave for a minute. I haven't decided yet. The guy, he didn't interrupt me last time. Anyway, I ordered oil today and the lady on the phone was like, I don't think he's coming out your way today. It'll be later in the week, which is fine because she said later in the week the price of oil goes up, so you don't pay until the day that they deliver the oil. When I bought it last time, it was 67 cents a liter. When I bought it this time, it was 92 cents a liter. Which sucks because it's like winter pricing. Now we need oil, so you pay what they want you to pay. But what am I trying to say? I didn't think he was going to come today, and she said it would get more expensive in the evenings, like later in the week. She said if he comes later in the week, she and he are the two people. I don't know who either of them are. Is this person going to come speak to me? The answer is no, thank God. Sorry, I don't like speaking to people. What's your job, Laura? I talk to people. What don't you want to do? Talk to people. But for real, she said if they deliver later in the week, it costs more because later in the week oil, the prices go up. It's just like daily, they change. Oh, hey Dave, I didn't see you came back. Hi. But he was able to deliver it today, which is great because that means it cost what I actually paid. Like there won't be a negative on my account with them because the oil costs more. Like I ordered 700 liters of oil because I know that's very interesting, people. I know it's just riveting, this story. Oh, you know Renfrew too, of course. We do love our groceries there, and they're so gentle with us with our big Quebec accent. Ottawa with the Canal Rideau for beaver tails. So, oh, it is closed. Oh, with your big Quebec accent. It's different than a French accent, that's for sure. Quebec has a twang to it, you know? Yeah. All the good slang in Ottawa. The Fringlish or the Franglais. I do love it. Alex is taking French classes through his work right now, and he's learning from someone who learned France French, so not the same. Are you done your meeting?
Yeah.
Awesome. Did they mind that you weren't in your office?
No. Oh, they don't.
Because you were in a face meeting, weren't you?
Sorry?
Weren't you in a conference?
Yeah, but how would they know where I am?
Because your background would have changed.
Yeah. Nobody said anything. There are a lot of these people.
Where were you sitting?
On the floor.
Okay.
They ate this toast.
Yes. I just didn't finish it this morning. Do you speak French? I do. I understand French. I can speak conversation. Yeah, they're delivering today.
What?
The oil.
Oh, I was wondering what that sounded.
She said they weren't going to be able to deliver till later in the week, and she said the price goes up later in the week, so she had me pay a little bit more so that it would be covered. So now there's going to be a credit. There was a $250 credit last time because I paid for 700 liters at a certain price, and then it was cheaper. So anyway, we have oil now. I don't have to worry about our heat not working. Yes and no. I can speak French, yes. I can understand it. Un petit peu, Alex said. I would just about said, je comprends. I understand, because I lived and worked in Ottawa, and like 50% of the people who live and work in Ottawa are francophone because they live in Gatineau, which is very close. Like, it's like the same town, but it's separated by a river, so you have to speak French in Ottawa if you're working in Ottawa. Like, they won't hire you if you can't speak French. So usually, like, you lie and say you speak French, and then you learn French on the job because you have to, because most of the customers you're dealing with are French, and you can't just be like, sorry, I can't help you. And a lot of French people that I interacted with from Quebec were not interested in speaking English. So if you couldn't understand them, they would just say it again in French. There was not gonna speak English for you, Laura. So I know a lot of words about phones because I sold phones in Ottawa in French. I also sold jewelry in Ottawa in French.
And also bad words.
Oh, obviously you know the bad words.
That's the first thing everybody teaches you.
Yes, it's it's also the first thing that you like are gonna use in daily like verbiage. What I love is that all of the French bad words, like even like Quebec bad words, are all like related to the church. Like
religious based.
In English, it's like the F word. You know what I mean? In French, it's like, okay, well, I can say the words because YouTube's not gonna catch it.
They have it in different languages.
Do they have the Quebec accent for the bad words?
Yeah, there's not a lot.
True. Okay, well, the tabernacle is the thing that sits at the front of the church. It's like the podium that holds the wine and the crackers. What is it called? Communion. What?
Crackers.
It's not called crackers. I was going to say the body of Christ, but the communion or the crackers. The flavorless wafer crackers, and the wine is called the tabernacle in English. In French, it's called tabernacle, like tabernacle. But that's like a bad word in French. It's like they make a slang word for that bad word. Instead of saying tabernacle, I'm saying it in English because in French, like I said, it's a bad word. Instead of saying that, they'd say like tabernouche, tabarouette. You just like change the end of the word so it's not a full swear. I always thought that was very funny. I always just thought it was funny that the church was where the swear words were in Quebec French. I guess all French probably, but Quebec French, it's all biblical, like church-related swear words. And then in English, it's all like sex-related swear words, you know? And genitalia, just in general. I worked for a feed and garden store, Lori says, and there was a lot of Portuguese people who knew no English. Oh, interesting. I feel like Portuguese kind of sounds like Russian. When my sister and I were there were a lot of Russian tourists, but for real. In Spanish, the communion wafer is a swear word too. Oh! Oh, the chalice is also the cup that holds the wine in French. That's a swear word. I'm trying to think. Colis, tabernacle. I can't think of another one off the top of my head. Those are the two. Can you think of one, Alex?
I'm sorry, I'm not listening. What?
There's the chalice is a bad word. Think, Liz. No, I'm not saying the word. That was what that's why I was just saying something like the word. I'm trying to say what's another bad word, church related, for Quebec.
Oh, I don't know things. I'm a good boy.
Alex says, I don't know those things. I'm a good boy. Yeah, Alex doesn't swear. Anyway, what did you work at? I worked at a cell phone store, and I was really, really good at it. I was a very good salesperson. Unfortunately, it sucked my soul, so I had to not work there anymore. That was the last job I had. The last, no, that's not true, because I worked at another business while working here, on another one of my businesses, but that was my last, somebody else paying me job. The communion wafer, I don't know what that's called in French, but it's probably a bad word too. Anyway, I know the bad words in French, and I know conversational French. I couldn't have a university level discussion about university level topics, but I could have a daily discussion with somebody in French. Yes. I know that was a very long ago question, and it was not even it didn't ask for me to elaborate, but what am I if not someone who just doesn't stop talking? Such is life. So, I think this hand warmer, fingerless glove, whatever we're gonna call it, I'll probably call it fingerless gloves because I feel like that's the search term and I want more people to see it, or as many people as possible to see it. So I will probably call it fingerless gloves. Is that what you would call it if you were searching for this pattern for hand warmer, fingerless glove, arm sock? What would your search terms be? Because I want to name it a thing. Do you put thumbs on them? No, I just do a row of single crochet around the hole that I leave when I'm sewing it up for the thumb. Yes and no then. No. You would say fingerless gloves too? Same. Cool. Okay, let's see if that's long enough now. Hold on. Ooh, these are cute. I like it. Yeah, I think that's long enough. Or should I have it go all the way up to my first knuckle? No, that might be a bit long. I think that's probably good. It's to the end of my hand. Yeah, that's probably good. I'll just go, how am I gonna assemble this? That's a good question. What are we gonna do for assembly? I think I'll sew it together. Wrong sides. Not sew it, I'll slip stitch it or single crochet. I'll do something to attach it together. Probably single crochet. Yeah, I think so. Don't mind me. I just talk to myself. It's not a big deal. There we go. Anywho, now I'm just putting this together. Actually, by the time we finish this, you'll be able to actually see what the pattern that I haven't even written out yet is gonna look like. Is that enough? Yeah, that should be good. Maybe one more. Don't worry about me. Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
What should we have for dinner?
What should we have for dinner? We can have breakfast for dinner. I can make bacon and eggs again.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Because we have toast.
Bacon, eggs.
Yeah, okay. Bacon and eggs. Slip stitch to thumb hole, then do a few rounds of singles for thumb cover. Okay, well let's see how that works. Now I'm singing that song in my head, Alex. Okay, I'm gonna do slip stitches around this. 2, 3, 4, I have to keep a count. 5 for when I write the pattern. 6, 7, and 8. Okay. And then we're going to put that together. I feel like that might have been better for me to put together first. No, I think this will be okay the way it is. I think you're right though. Slip stitch that part. So I single crocheted the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. Such fun. I'm working on a hat made of Allison and May Specials Chillin' Cake. Chenille. Wow, that was chenille, Laura? Chenille, right? Cake. Cool. What colors? And hold on. When French people go to Ottawa, we try our best to talk in English, but in our province, we like to talk to people in French. It doesn't matter to me either way. When I was in Ottawa, I recognized that most people whose first language was French preferred not to have to speak English if they didn't have to. And I get that, because if I don't have to speak French, I'm not gonna, you know? I'll speak English because it's easier for me. Makes sense to me. Sorry, how many did I do for that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought I counted 9. Did you guys count 9 with me? I thought I counted 9. There. Now there's 8. Is there any more rows left? No, that's the right place to attach. So now I'm reattaching my fingerless glove together at the first double crochet row. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because I'm also writing it in my head. Start talking about French and Russian and you get stuck on chenille. I can't read English. Don't worry about me. It's just the way it is sometimes. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. I heard you. Blue variegated. Ooh, pretty. That's awesome. What are you working on again? A hat. That's fun. A blue variegated hat. I feel like this is going to be a fun looking set of mittens once I finish with it. I already really like it, so that's a pretty good sign, I think. Just have to remember what I'm doing because I'm going to have to film and read in my head the instructions. So I'm trying to write out the instructions in my head. That's why I can't make eye contact right now, because I'm writing instructions in my head for the video that I'm not going to film till tomorrow, which means I'm going to dream about crochet tonight. Awesome. Okay, better than dreaming about crazy stuff. All right, there we go. Sewn together or crocheted together. Now I'm going to slip stitch up the same seam I just did in order to bring myself back up to where I need to be at the thumb, and that way we can do some thumb crochet without adding any more bulk to the seam. Yeah, that'll do it. So here we are. There we go. Now I'm going to slip stitch the other side of the fabric where I slip stitched. Don't worry about it. You'll know when I show you the video. I'm slip stitching right now. That's what matters. Just outside the thumb. And once I get to the top, then I will do some single crochet rows. And we'll be brilliant. Everyone will be so impressed that these fingerless gloves have a little bit of thumb coverage. Thumb coverage. What's everybody else working on? Wilma's doing some lovely hat making. Anybody else doing anything interesting? I feel like these slip stitches are awfully tight. What am I going to do? I'm going to just pretend they're not, and I'm just going to single crochet around the thumb. I feel like everything else is in half double crochet. Do you think it matters that I'm going to do this part in single crochet? It's fine. That just means there will be a new awesome stitch for everybody to learn. I'm being tortured. What fun. That's lovely, Candace. I'm sorry. That's a bummer. Haha, a bummer. Hold on, Laura. Figure this out. And then... wow, this is more complicated than it needed to be. Because I made my stitches a little too tight there. Poor thumbs always get left out. Left out in the cold, literally in this case. Is it dark already? It's 3:12. Why is it getting dark? It's not that time of winter yet. We don't live that far north for it to be getting dark at 3:12.
It's snowing.
Okay. I don't need excuses for the darkness. I just think it shouldn't be dark at all. Because it's daytime. In the summer, it doesn't even get dark until like 9. What is this? Why does this happen? Also, I'm going to be rage in a moment if this will not work for me. Please just work for me. There we go. Got it. Anyway, can you tell I've run out of things to talk about? I can't think while I'm crocheting, so my brain is just void currently. It's just like an empty little cloud right now. There's not much going on in there because I'm concentrating on this stupid slip stitches I did. I'm going to make a note in my head to do it looser on the other one. Yes, Laura, you could just pull them out and do it again, but what fun would that be? Then there would be no struggle at all. What's the point of that? That's just the way it is. Now that's in my head. Anyway, do tell us how your mom's cooking treat selling stand. Do tell us how your mom's cooking treat selling stand is going. It's going really well. I don't think she's overwhelmed yet, which is good because she's baking every single day, which I'm sure she finds some joy in, but I don't know if you have to bake every day if it's the same level of joy. But people love her cookies. Like multiple people have ordered 2 or 3 boxes of her cookies. My mom makes like an assorted, they're not even cookies, like assorted squares, and also she does cookies, separate things. But people have left the farm and then called the following day and said, I need to order like 10 more boxes. Like people want them to store in their freezers for over winter, which I get because I do that. I have boxes of her cookies in my freezer just most of the time, most of the year, because they last in the freezer for a long time. But people love it. People are really... and wear a mask for pickup. That would be awesome if people could just wear a mask for pickup, always. But yeah, she is baking up a storm. She has like several regulars now who like, I think they must be businesses because they are ordering from her like every week, and they're ordering like pie every week. Like, I mean, maybe they just like pie, but there's multiple people who like come to her farm every week to pick up like a bunch of blueberry pies and she like keeps making them, which is fine. Like she's having a good time with it, but yeah, she's got people who really love her, obviously, because her baking is amazing. But it's nice that like strangers know it too, you know. What are you making? I'm making a fingerless glove, and because of Candace and Lori, I'm adding a thumb to it that is making me mildly rage on the inside. Not really, but like a little, you know? Like no, like no hate to Lori and Candace, but at the same time, ladies, why did you have to say add a thumb to it? Do you see how much longer this is taking me than just stitching it up? Ugh. I'm making a fingerless glove though, for a pattern. And hi Saga, nice to see you. And hey Beauty Journals, nice to see you too. I'm gonna freak out soon. Do you ever get that way when you're crocheting and your hook, it's hard to get your hook in, and then you're like, I will burn the house down if this doesn't work? or I'll just burn this yarn. Not actually. I don't actually have rage issues. I'm just exaggerating because this is such a small, finicky little thing. It's making me angry. This better look really good, because if it looks bad and I have to pull it out. I saw some pics of her treats. Yes, she makes an awful lot of treats. And you know what's actually selling really well as well are her specialty jams. Like she makes like carrot cake jam and baklava jam and spicy pear chutney. Like she has all these like weird jams that she just kept. Your thumb will thank you. It better. She just kept making varieties of things with things that she grew on the farm, and she had like an obscene amount of hot peppers and a lot of pears and apples, so there's a lot of like fun mixes and people love them. Like obviously I know they're good, but like I never thought they would like sell because they're weird, you know, like spicy pear jam. It's not weird, but it's weird. I think this has to be done on the outside. I don't think that's gonna look pretty inside out. Hold on. I think I'm gonna have to do the thumb as an after thumb, because there'll be a seam. If I do it on the inside, this is where the fabric is like coming. I don't think it's gonna look pretty if I do it from that side. Yeah, because there will be like a whole seam visible. Like, do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying. This is the new line of crochet, but do you see this big bump of a seam? It's not visible when I'm inside out. Yeah, I think this is going to be I have to pull it out, but it's okay because I'm going to do a thumb on the outside. You're right, my thumb will thank me. I know. I think that's where this has to finish then, this portion. Okay. Really? There we go. Sorry, the rage. This one's not going on camera, so don't worry. Anyway, I'm going to do a thumb, but I have to do it on the outside, like once it's already turned out. And I think I have to redo my seam anyway, because I saw that in the viewfinder and it's not attached here. Eventually, this will be a really cute little fingerless glove set, and I'm going to add more thumb so that it's warmer. But I love this, like this ribbed texture. It's funny enough, it's not on this sweater, but I really like it. It's on most of my sweaters, and I think it's a good vibe. Oh, I just went deaf again. Like where all the white noise stops. Does that ever happen to you guys? All the background noise just went silent for a second there. I'm gonna go now. It's 3:30. I'm gonna go and matches the hat. Kind of. Almost. It doesn't have the red that the hat has. I'm gonna go. Don't forget to like the video before you head out, friends, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Early in the morning. I will be here 8 a.m. I guess it's not that early, but 8 a.m. I'll be back if you're free, 8 a.m. Eastern. Not even 24 hours away. I will be back and we can hang out, and I'll show you what the rest of the mitt looks like, and join my Patreon if you're into that, and you'll have access to all my bullet journal patterns. Okay, love you, bye! Have a good rest of your day. Don't forget to like the video. Okay, love you, bye!